Hey everyone, I am back. It's Dr. Hammond here with your mental health moment. I hope that you have had a wonderful week. If you are tuning in for the very first time, welcome, welcome. It's Dr. Hammond here with your mental health moment. If you are tuning in, if you're tuning back in and you tune in every Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern, welcome back. Of course, we are live here every Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern on Black Women Empowered Incorporated Facebook page, YouTube, and LinkedIn Live. And if you are watching the replay on Dr. Nikisha Hammond YouTube page, be sure to like this page, share, and subscribe to the page. So, welcome, welcome. It's Dr. Hammond here with your mental health moment. For those of you who are new, I reside in the Tampa Bay area of Florida, where it is nice and warm. Thank the Lord. But I know other parts are pretty snowy right now. So wherever you're at in the world, welcome, welcome. Dr. Hammond here again with your mental health moment. Let me know in the chat where you are tuning in from today. Hopefully, I can see my comments because I never know week to week what technology is going to be doing. But for those of you who are new to Mental Health Moment is all about how do you work on becoming the best version of who you are so you can show up powerfully for yourself and for the people around you. So, let's see, a couple quick announcements today. First, for those of you who have been tuning in, like, I don't know, I feel like some of you have been tuning in for many, many years. So thank you so much. Thanks for showing up for yourself. And thanks for supporting Mental Health Moment with Dr. Hammond. But even in the last couple of weeks, if you've been new the last couple of weeks, I have been letting you know that I had an exciting announcement. Excuse me, and I can finally share that with you all today. So one of the things I've been working on over the last couple months is really sharing with you all a new tea. Um, because many of you know, if you've tuned into Mental Health Moment before, that I often preach about taking a minute, right, in our day, like literally 60 seconds. One of the things I like to do to take that time and practice that taking a minute is drinking a cup of tea. So I'm a tea drinker. But yeah, so it's called herbalclarity.com. Or the website is herbalclarity.com, and it's called Herbal Clarity TEA with by Dr. Hammond. So I'll be sure to check that out. Hi from Virginia. Welcome, welcome. I'll put it in the comments really quickly. And actually, I think I'm telling you all before we have actually updated the website. So you guys know before the Dr. Nikisha Hammond website is updated. So you guys are first to know before the website knows. But herbalclarity.com. If you are in the US, there is free shipping for the tea. The tea has like 15 pouches in there, and it's just a way. Again, I really, really love wellness. For those of you who know me, I love anything that brings about our wellness and anything that changes our mindset for the better. So one of the projects my team and I have been working on this year that I've been so excited to announce to you all is, of course, Herbal Clarity by Dr. Hammond. And again, just giving yourself a moment, excuse me, a moment to drink that cup of tea, and just having mindful moments. That's something that I personally love to do, is have what I call a mindful moment, meaning I'm really paying attention in that moment and being in the present moment, because it's really easy for us to get caught up and be living in the past, living in the future, which hasn't even happened yet, right? Instead of living in the present moment. So check out that website. And for those of you who do try the tea, definitely let me know. Send me a DM somewhere on social media. I'm always on social media of some sort. So send me a DM and let me know how you love it. And I just, like I said, I just hope you enjoy just having that moment for yourself. So important. That's something I've been doing for a long time, actually. So thank you. Thank you so much. Okay. So that's one of my announcements today. I feel like I had another one. Oh, no, I have another one coming up here in the next couple weeks. There's one more announcement, but we're finishing some things. So I'll share that with you when I can. Hi from Houston, Texas in the house. Welcome. Thanks so much for joining here. Dr. Hammond here with your mental health moment. And trying to think, I feel like I had another announcement for you all. I should have written it down. If I think of it, I will let you all know. But I do have another announcement that I can announce in a couple weeks. Okay, so today's mental health moment. And thanks again for those who are tuning in here. Oh, I love that. Someone said, I've been asking myself how I am doing according to your suggestion. Yay. That's awesome. That's so like, that makes me so happy. Such great news. So for those of you who are like, what is this person talking about? One of the things also that I encourage you to do, because I met thousands and thousands and thousands of people throughout the world, and we all do it. I'm guilty, myself at times too, but we tend to neglect ourselves. It is amazing if you check in with others around you. Like, yes, please do that. And also, we have to be checking in with ourselves, like asking ourselves, "How am I doing?" Right? Because it's real easy to neglect ourselves. So I love that you've been doing that. So yay! So thank you for sharing that. Someone said they're on the south side. Welcome. Thanks so much for joining here. Dr. Hammond here with your mental health moment. Okay, so today's mental health moment. So as we again, which is crazy, like start to wrap up the year. I already know what tends to happen. We tend to have our goals, as you should, some type of hopefully wellness goals too, for yourself. But we say, okay, I'll start on what date do we say? January 1st. um, which is not a bad time to start, but what I really, really, really want you to think about, because it's easy to get caught up in this like notion of like newness, like new year, new me, and all the things that I always see every year, year after year on social media. But I also want you, well, tip number one today, I also want you to think about redefining what your new year looks like. Meaning, good morning. Thanks so much for joining here. Gary, Indiana's in the house. Welcome. Yep, someone said January 1st. Yes. But I also want to strongly encourage you to think about like where does your new year really begin? Right? Because to me, when you oh gosh, everything is mindset to me, y'all. This is psychologist to me. But to me, when you are like mentally ready, you're like, okay, I'm ready to make this commitment for fill in the blank, for more self care, for taking care of myself physically or emotionally or spiritually or mentally or a combination or wherever you're at. Once you really truly make that decision and you can start on that journey, it may or may not be January 1st, and that's okay. Right. So once you like really fully make that decision and mentally get to that place to honor yourself, to honor your boundaries, to honor your self-worth, like when you're right, like at that place, that's when your quote unquote new year can begin. Right. And it doesn't always have to be January 1st. It doesn't always have to be the start of a new month. It doesn't always have to be like when my birthday comes. Like I've heard that before too, right? Like we so what I see tends to happen is we look at these physical calendars, right? Like your whatever you're looking at in your phone, or if you have a physical calendar at home, or wherever your physical, like you can see the calendar, and we think like if there's this weird pressure to do things according to what we see on a calendar. But what I strongly encourage you to think about is you have to make your it's almost like your own emotional calendar. Like when are you ready? Right. And like I said, we're all at different places in our self-care and wellness journey, and that is okay. Some of you are at the start line. You're like, man, I need to start. Like you may be like, I never check in on myself, or I have no self-care. Like, trust me, I've been there, done that. I get it. I really feel you. If you're in that place, or maybe you're like, nope, I'm good. I had a good year. I took care of myself. I'm going into maintenance mode. Cool. Right. Or maybe you're like, I'm ready to elevate my wellness, whatever that looks like for you, that elevation, and take that leap. Awesome. Maybe it's a baby step, right? But like you decide when your calendar is versus like when people are like, yeah, let's all do this together. You may be like, listen, January 1st may come and you're like, nope, I am not ready. And that's okay. Maybe for you, it's whenever it is. It's January 15th. Maybe you're going through something right now and it is just hard to take the step to whatever it is that you need, and you need to be taking care of yourself. Like, first of all, that's a step, by the way, but we talked about that before on another mental health moment, but you may need to slow down for a second and take care of your physical body or your emotions or your mental state or whatever it is. So my point is whatever your timeline is, like that is valid. Don't let anyone else, all the pressure you see, all the New Year's Eve parties, like we go crazy at the beginning of the year. And again, I'm not opposed. I am not opposed though. If that is your time, if you're like January 1st, yep, that's for me, cool. But don't feel pressure to quote unquote start whatever it is you're trying to start on the timeline of a calendar that most people are trying to do something because it's not that's just not always the case. Hi from Austin, Texas. Welcome. Delaware's in the house. Welcome. Good morning. Since we're on the other side of the world. Welcome, welcome. And let me know where you're tuning in from, by the way, in the chat. If you're just tuning in, it's Dr. Hammond here with your mental health moment. Today, I'm sharing a couple tips with you because we're heading into the new year in a couple weeks, which is crazy, really crazy. I'm like, how did, like, I don't know. I feel like by November, like time just speeds up. I don't know if it's just me that feels that way, but like once November comes, especially Thanksgiving, it's like, wait, we're in a new year. Like time just goes too fast. Weird. But nonetheless, so we're talking today about how you don't always have to like quote unquote begin your journey or your new you or whatever that looks like exactly on January 1st. It doesn't have to be that way. It could, but it doesn't have to be that way. Yep. Someone said, do what's good for you. Absolutely. Right. And so maybe you're going through something right now and where like wherever you're at mentally, you say maybe it's March for you. I don't know. Like maybe it's March where you say, okay, now I'm ready. Right. Like that's okay. Like honor yourself, honor where you're at, right? Honor your growth. Like we are all at different places, right? Hi from Ontario, Canada. Welcome, welcome. Dr. Hammond here with your mental health moment. The second thing, which I promise you at some point it will happen, like that is just, there's not too many things that are guaranteed, but it's high chance that when you do make said changes, whatever your changes are, like for growth, again, it could be physically, emotionally, spiritually, mentally, a combination, something else, some other area of your life. Um, there, there's just going to be moments where you feel uncomfortable with that. And it's so weird because even though the change that you make for you, maybe you know what I hear actually often, maybe you make a change where you have more self-care in your life. Yay, which is a good thing, right? Is it good for you? But then you start to feel guilty about giving yourself the time that you need and deserve. Like if I had, oh my gosh, if I if I had if I added up how many times I've heard that from people literally around the world, actually. It was funny because I was speaking in Bali this summer and I heard the same, like, it's just funny because it's a global thing. It's not just, I live in the US, but wherever I'm speaking, like, I just hear it over and over and over, right? Different continents, like all over, like, there's this weird, like, guilt of taking care of ourselves. So when that comes about, whether it's the guilt, whether it's just you feel uncomfortable, like, oh, sometimes change feels uncomfortable. Um, I want you to do your best to remind yourself that first of all, it's normal. It is a normal feeling. Um, and secondly, that when you really start to stretch yourself, when you really start to get outside your comfort zone of whatever that looks like, it it does feel uncomfortable. That's why it's called a comfort zone, right? Because we're in it, we're comfortable, who we are, and then we start to change. Yay, for the better. And then you start to set better boundaries for yourself or for your families or your community or your friends or whomever it is you have around you, right? Like those are good things. But then we start to be like, oh, I don't know. Like, oh, am I taking too much time from me? Or oh, like we start to second guess ourselves. So I just want you to remember that that is a normal part of the process. And we're talking a lot about, if you're just not tuning in, we're talking a lot today. We're again heading into a new year. And when you think about growth, when you think about mindset change, it's the weirdest thing that happens to all of us is that we, even though we're changing for the better, we start to question ourselves. Then we start to doubt ourselves. Then we wonder if we're on the right path. Then we wonder if we can sustain this, new growth. Like it's all it's all a part of the process. But when those feelings come up, it's about what is it that you were telling yourself in that moment. Because every single one of us are telling ourselves stories and trust me, we're all guilty of it. And some of it is not true. We lie, I always say we lie to ourselves all the time. We have so much negative self-talk sometimes when you really pause and think about it, you're like, wait, you should be like, wait a minute, hold up. You know what I mean? Like, and it takes well, it takes a different mindset to be in that state to catch yourself, but really work on catching yourself again when you're whatever it is that you're telling yourself when you get to those points. Good evening from Boston. Welcome back. Chicago's in the house. Welcome. Um, because because again, the thing is that it is normal. Like it's normal to have the discomfort. Do your best to keep going, right? Like when you have those type of feelings, remind yourself, it helps to remind yourself that you can get through. These are normal thoughts. When you start to grow, you're going to question, you're going to have the self doubt. For some of you, if it's imposter syndrome, like all these things start to come up. Those are normal. Work on mentally pushing through. A lot of times, you all, there's things that happen in our lives, but sometimes we are in our own mental battle, frankly. Like you are in a mental battle with yourself sometimes. And it's literally one of the reasons is because we are telling ourselves a story, which may or may not be true. We're also adding in our self talk, which may or may not be positive, right? And then it gets better because we have other people around us telling us their perspective of whatever situation too. So that's actually a lot to process, right? It's a lot to process sometimes. But again, work on like giving yourself the gift of having the mindset to say, "You know what? I'm going to keep going. Like I'm going to do my best. I'm going to keep going. I know this is normal. I can progress. I'm making progress. This is good." Sometimes progress doesn't feel comfortable. That's okay, right? And sometimes you do have people around you, hopefully, right, that have your back, that are encouraging you, that are supporting you. They're like, "Yes, you can do it. You got this." Like those people. I'm so extremely blessed to have a lot of like amazing people in my life. Like, oh my gosh, I'm so ooh, thank you, Lord. I'm grateful to God. But like, those people who are like cheering you on, like, you got this, it's okay. We know you have the self-doubt. Like, keep those people around you, by the way. But make sure that hopefully you have that. If not, it's you, right? It's you versus you, as anyways, a lot of speakers will say. So again, so remember this. Yep, someone said second questioning yourself can lead to sabotage and not moving forward. Absolutely. Right? Absolutely. And sometimes, sadly, sometimes we accidentally self-sabotage, but we don't realize it until a lot later because it is so easy. I feel like I preach like every week to you all, like how important it is to work on your self-awareness. It takes time and that's okay. But how important it is to work on your self-awareness because otherwise you do things, you say things, you think things, and then it could be years or months later you look back, you're like, wait a minute. I was totally self-sabotaging, right? Like we don't really sometimes we just don't see it right away because you're in a situation. Um, Hi, someone said, "Hey from Florida, almost missed it." All good, all good. Welcome, welcome. Glad to have you. South Carolina's listening. Welcome, welcome. Thanks for joining here. Dr. Hammond here with your mental health moment. Okay, I'm about to get into the third tip here. But if you're just tuning in, and first of all, you can always watch the replay on Dr. Nikisha Hammond YouTube page. So my team is amazing. Thank you, team. That helps to put everything on YouTube. So yeah, so you can always catch replays. If you miss a replay, it's always on there. Or if you get in, or if you come in late, all good. So yeah, so we're talking today about again, we're moving into the new year, just different things to think about. Like number one, making sure that you don't feel overly pressured to start your new goals or whatever it is exactly on January 1st. Like it's okay. Right. Maybe it is that's your time or not. Maybe you're going through some stuff, you're like, can you start, a couple weeks later or a month later or 2 months later or wherever that is in your journey. Maybe you're listening to this replay actually, and it's in the middle of the year, right? So maybe you're starting in the middle of the year. Like wherever you start is where you start when you start to honor yourself. Right. That's your timeline and that's okay. The second thing I was talking about today, just as a quick recap, is again, understand that when you grow, like your the feelings of discomfort happen. Like it's really just a normal part of the process. Don't beat yourself up when that happens though. Don't I hope that for you all, you work on for those of you who are harder on yourself, I get that. But if you're harder on yourself, working on your positive self-talk, working on understanding that the self-doubt is okay, working on not beating yourself up mentally, even when you as you start to make those good changes and you look back and you're like, "What in the world?" Like, you might be like, look back on yourself and like, "Why would I do that?" Like, don't beat yourself up for it because sometimes we just don't know how to change in a positive direction, but then you learn, yay, and then you start to change and it's okay. Or sometimes you just weren't ready to make changes, whatever it is, whatever area of your life. Let's just celebrate, yay. Let's just celebrate the positive and where we're going. That's what's important. Okay, last tip. All right. So last tip is my favorite tip, you all. And I'm sorry, I know I share this often, but I have to because this is one of my favorite things to do. Again, as we head into this new year, thinking about, I always say it, but I'm gonna say it again, to take a minute. So for those of you, we all have different self-care goals, wellness goals. Some of you have big, huge, lofty goals. Great. I mean, some of you are like, I'm trying to take a leap. Cool. Some of you are like, I'm just trying to like inch along. Or what is this whole self-care thing? Like all the thing, like it's all good wherever you're at. But I also want to strongly encourage you to make sure a minimum that you're taking 60 seconds for yourself a day. Because again, it is really, really easy to get caught up in life. Your personal things you got going on, your friends, your family member, what's going on in the news, what's going on in the world, what's going on social media. If you're watching television, you might be caught up in other people's lives. Like it's just a lot, right? Like we're just caught up in so much stuff that we process and we tend to neglect ourselves. So again, the 60 seconds, if you believe in prayer, saying a quick prayer. If I love my cups of tea. I was telling you at the beginning about herbal clarity by Dr. Hammond, but if you're sipping your cup of tea or water or whatever it is, if you're taking your deep breaths, like there's so many different things that you can do that literally take 60 seconds for you. The most important thing though for you is to make sure that you make that time for you. So if you need to set your cell phone timer, you said it. Because some of you, I know what you're thinking, you're like 60 seconds. That's so short. But for some of you, um, you might not even be doing that, like at a minimum. Right. So set yourself like or if you're in a space where like, oh, I don't have time for the self-care thing. I've been there, done that. I used to think that way, which is not true, by the way. But nonetheless, if you're at that point, you're so busy, how you're gonna add things and start with a minute. A minute. Because I hope, I believe strongly that all of us have the 60 seconds out of our day. Right. Someone said, self-sabotage is not self-destruction, it's self-protection that hasn't healed yet. So the path forward is not discipline, not trying harder, not perfection, is self-awareness plus self-compassion. I love that. Very well said. Absolutely, positively true. Self-sabotage comes from a whole lot of different reasons. That's a whole nother mental health moment. By the way, I could talk for 3 hours on it, but since we're gonna wrap up soon, I won't spend 3 hours talking on about it. But it does. It comes from a lot. It comes from a lot. It has a lot of different roots, but more importantly, like you're saying, work on the self-compassion. There are things that sometimes just happen to you in life, whether it's in your childhood years, teen years, adult years, and it's just not fully healed, like you were saying, which causes you to do things that sometimes you're aware of, sometimes you're not. It's a very short lesson for a very long discussion. But the most important thing, yes, like you mentioned here, having the self-compassion, extremely important to make sure you think about how can you like be gentle with yourself, right? And honor yourself, like honor your growth. You all please celebrate. So even listen, even in those 60-second time periods, whatever it is that you like, if you think about right now, what you can do in 60 seconds to celebrate yourself, whatever that looks like, make sure you're also spending time doing that as well. Please, please, I beg you, like give yourself a pat on the back. Like be proud of yourself for your progress. I don't care if they're baby steps. Like those always count too. But you also have to give yourself credit, right? Like celebrate yourself. Maybe you're celebrating with other people, maybe you're celebrating by yourself, whatever that looks like, big celebration, small celebration, everything counts. But that's another level of being aware and also being grateful, right? We talked a lot about gratitude, mental health moment, but being grateful and understanding like the positive things that you have done, giving yourself credit. Even when you look back at this year, right? We talked about that a couple mental health moments ago. When you look back at this year, I mean, we tend to just have this kind of like a big overview. We might be like, oh, this year was horrible or this year was great. But it's like, there's 365 days in a year. Like a lot probably happened in the year. So let's also focus on like, what is it that you learned? Right? What is it that you got from this year? How did you progress as a person? Right? Like we all changed. Um, like what are the positive things that happened to you? Right? Or even the things that were really difficult, but what did you learn from that? Who did you become as a result? Right? Like those are the types of things to think about. Um, Someone said, instead of saying what's wrong with me, try, I feel afraid because this is big. I'm allowed to move slowly. I'm not in danger. Your nervous system needs reassurance, not punishment. Yes. We're gonna be gosh, I was thinking about the next mental health moments. Okay, never mind. I was gonna tell you about a mental health moment, but I think that's in a couple mental health moments. So nonetheless, but yes, well, I'll just say yes. As far as your nervous system, I'm sure you all have heard because it's the new buzz thing. I feel like in social media land, which I'm happy about. But yes, when it comes to your nervous system, meaning that um, sense of, for some of you, it's like I'm always revved up. What's next on my to-do list? I got to do this, like the anxiety or whatever it is that you literally it happens in your body, right? Physically working on taking that down, which is always why I stress to take a minute, like giving your mind and body a pause, a break from everything happening around you. Someone said, I know none of us give ourselves enough grace. Every day is a hustle, hustle, hustle. Yes. Yes. And we do. As I wrap up today's mental health moment, I really want to encourage you that it all matters. It just does. Like the little bits of progress that you make, those count too. It's so funny because sometimes it's just the little things that you do that you well, let me put it this way. Things that you think are little things like, oh, taking 60 seconds, like that's a little thing, but those little things, those small changes that you make, sometimes they lead to the biggest transformations. And I often share the take a minute with you too that I always talk about because that is well, I don't even know when that was. Many years ago, that's one of the ways that I really changed my life and really changed my mindset when it came to self-care because I was awful at it. Yes, I will say, like transparently horrible at it. Just I just wasn't in the mindset. However, that's not the case now but I started with just taking a quick minute. All right. And now it's a lot more than a minute, but I just encourage you to start with that. Now, if you get excited and you're like, you know what, I took a minute, maybe I'll take 5, like maybe I'll take 10, like, like, hey, cool. Like, please take more than a minute. But I don't want to overwhelm you. And you're like, oh my God, I have to take an hour every day. Nope. Some days I do not have an hour of self-care. Okay. So like our days are busy. So start with a minute. Like I said, just try for a minute. But if you can do more time, like that's amazing. And usually you will start to crave taking care of yourself, so it will turn into more time. Spoiler alert. But yeah, start with a minute. So okay, I think that's all I have for you today. Yeah, and I'll share. I have another announcement to make, but I'll share it. I'll share in a couple weeks. But again, for those of you, as I wrap up here, let me just put in the comments one more time. I shared at the beginning, but I know some of you came in late. But before I wrap up, I did want to share again. I'm super excited. One of the things that I've been working on this year is a new tea. It's called Herbal Clarity, TEA, by Dr. Hammond. So I'm so excited. It's a herbal tea. It's just another way my mindset is always like, how do we do more things to take care of ourselves? Which is what I always preach you all. And this is something I do as well. I'm a big tea drinker. So you can check out the site. It's herbalclarity.com. If you live in the US, there's free shipping right now. So yeah, check it out. And for those of you who do try the tea, definitely send me a little note somewhere on social media, a little DM, and let me know how you like it. But yeah, so that was my exciting announcement today. And I have another announcement in the next couple of weeks here for you all. Blessings to you as well. But again, I really encourage you as I wrap up today's mental health moment. We're rapidly going into this new year here. Maybe you're listening to this when it's like in the summer or something. But as it's recorded right now today, we're almost into the new year. And I, again, just really want to encourage you as you move into this new year to really remember that the physical calendar is there as a guide, but you use your own like mental, emotional, spiritual, physical, calendar for you. Be on your own timeline. That is okay. You are allowed. So don't give yourself too much pressure, but also know like your healing journey is for you, right? So do things on your timeline. Do things when it makes sense. Do things when you're honoring yourself, honoring your body, honoring your mind, honoring your spirituality, honoring where you're at in the world and what is going on in your life. Like do things to honor yourself. Oh, Someone said, "I'd love to try that tea." Yes, definitely try it. And I'm not just saying it because of my tea, but I really love it. And I hope you guys love it too. And I basically had all my family try it and they loved it. But again, maybe they're just being nice. I don't know. No, I hope not. But yeah, I definitely hope that you love the tea as well. Yeah, that's what I got for you all today. So again, take care of yourselves. Please check in with yourselves still and remember everything. And if you came in a little bit late, it's all good. Again, the replay of this will be on Dr. Nikisha Hammond YouTube page. So be sure to subscribe to the page, and then you can always watch the replay on there as well. So have an amazing week. Be blessed, and I will see you all next Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern, right here live on Black Women Empowered Incorporated Facebook page, YouTube, and LinkedIn Live. Have a great week. Bye, you guys.